the answer never was, never will. We will never live in peace unless and until we learn to love each other, not bomb, maim, and kill. 'Cause war is not the answer, never was and never will. Think of all the weapons.
Hello, and welcome to another edition of Veterans Speak Out, sponsored by New Hampshire Veterans for Peace. And this is Will Thomas, United States Navy and veteran. And I do believe that the United States is too militaristic. All right?
I would agree with that. My name is Richard Murphy, and I'm a Vietnam veteran and of the United States Army. And there's no question in my mind that we're the most violent nation in the world.
As Martin Luther King said
Yeah.
in 1967, and it hasn't changed.
Not a bit. It's got worse almost.
Probably gotten
it's
worse. All right. Well, look, we want to give a shout-out to some faithful viewers, and that includes Doreen.
And our cat.
And her cat, Delia. So
Delia.
thanks for watching. And also, of course, a shout-out to our very close and good friends, Bill McCarthy and his lovely wife, Noreen.
Hi.
All right. So here we are post-Super Bowl, or some people call it the Stupid Bowl,
Yeah.
Stupor Bowl.
I'm happy to say I didn't know who was playing.
Who was playing? I believe it was Denver and
Seattle.
Seattle, yes. Okay.
No.
So we talked last week, you weren't here,
No, I wasn't here.
about a controversy regarding or surrounding a product that is manufactured on an illegal settlement
in Palestine.
Occupied Palestine. And that product makes carbon.
Now, is that an Israeli-owned company?
Yes,
or?
it is.
It is.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And Israeli-owned company manufactures this machine that turns carbonated water into whatever flavoring you want to add to it. And that's called SodaStream.
SodaStream. Yeah.
And the controversy revolved around their new spokesperson, an actress, a very, you'll see in a minute, glamorous actress. Scarlett Johansson.
Johansson. I wouldn't recognize if I bumped into her.
Yeah, well, when you see her on screen, perhaps. She was also the global ambassador for an organization that has done much good throughout the world for many years called Oxfam.
Oxfam, yeah.
Okay, helping the needy, helping the poor, supplying people with tools, instruments for learning, etc., for housing, you name it.
I wonder if Oxfam would still want her as a public...
Well, this is the controversy.
Because
they were apprised of her new position as the spokesperson for SodaStream, which actually that company violates the... law, international law, okay? And it took them about almost 2 weeks before they finally said something to her.
Oxfam
to Scarlett. You can't do this, or we can't retain you as our ambassador. And by the way, her choice was?
With the SodaStream.
SodaStream.
Because you know why? That's where the money is.
Okay. Well, the ad was on during the fourth quarter of the football game, and they did drop the last sentence, which is something about, well, take that, Pepsi and Coke, you know. And then last year they tried to show all the garbage trucks filled with cans and soda bottles and, you know, waste, because with SodaStream you don't have that.
The waste.
Okay. And I also pointed out last week there are like 8 or 9 or 10 alternatives to buying SodaStream. Water is one of them from the tap.
That's
right?
the best
Not
thing.
bottled or plastic bottles.
Right.
All right, so we're going to show some of these photos. We also have a little surprise at the end. Oh, here's one. Okay, here's the first one. I'm not a human rights advocate, but I play one for Oxfam. Okay. All right, the next one.
Yeah, I don't know her at all.
Do not buy. In other words,
Apartheid.
Apartheid, and that's what The system
That's
is
exactly what it is.
like it was in South Africa,
Sure.
in the West Bank.
Yeah.
And here is
Every bit
can't-
as bad as it was
yeah,
there.
yeah. And here are the people kind of going through the checkpoints, like put in cages,
Yeah.
Here's a group of citizens in America calling for boycott, which is, by the way, part of the BDS movement, boycott, divest, and sanctions movement, inspired by the Palestinians, by the way. It says, support Scarlett Johansson. And this was put out by SodaStream. So, in other words, don't support Oxfam?
Right.
Okay. Set the bubbles free. Palestinians can wait. And there's the wall, the apartheid wall.
What does that mean? Palestinians can wait.
Well-
That's all they do is wait.
Well,
That's
how
their
about
own-
setting the Palestinians free? And the bubbles can
Yeah.
wait.
Right.
Okay? Got it. Mum's the word on SodaStream's factory in an illegal Israeli settlement.
Yeah. This is
Oh, here's the picture there. Here's with Scarlett, you see. Now, she is rather, would you say good looking? Or
Yes, I'd say she's good looking.
okay.
Yeah.
But here she is profiting from
She's
this
certainly seductive.
Well, okay, that was the premise of the ad.
Right.
Here's another one. Remember the postcard we have there with the loss of land starting in 1947?
Yes, right.
Shore Expo.
Look at that. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, no, let's keep the dialogue
Incredible.
going. What could happen? She's saying this is a good thing, that Palestinians, many of the workers in this factory and this illegal settlement are Palestinians. Of course, they can't live there,
No.
and they have to go through the checkpoints to get there,
Yeah.
et cetera, et cetera.
And
All right.
although they might live only a couple minutes away from there, it takes them about 3 hours to get to it.
Well,
'cause they
yeah, a
probably
long
have to
time
go through
in many
20
cases. In
checkpoints.
many cases. So I do believe we have some addendum here, photographs. So let's take a look. Well, yeah, we did talk about this too. How many New Yorkers know they just elected a new mayor of Israel? Now, have you heard about this, Richard?
No. I haven't.
Okay, de Blasio is the new mayor,
Yes.
okay,
Yeah.
in New York City. He held a closed-door meeting with a whole group of supporters of Israel called AIPAC.
Oh, he did.
You know about AIPAC,
Yes.
right? And somebody recorded it, the audio. Okay, in the meeting, and I think there's one more photo here we can show of that. Yeah, Bill de Blasio, who knew that defending Israel was in your job description? He told them, first of all, that his door in the mayor's office would be always open to AIPAC, okay, which should be registered as a foreign entity,
Yeah.
But the second part is that he, as the mayor, he said, part of my duty as mayor of New York City is to defend Israel. Now, wait a second here.
AIPAC is just so strong, it's really depressing.
Well, there were a number of Jews in New York City, and prominent Jews, who wrote a letter to him criticizing him
Sure.
for that comment.
Well, I think there are more Jews living in New York City than there are in Israel, aren't there?
Actually, the second most.
Second one.
And so, if he's doing it because, and again, you mentioned the money, and we don't want to stereotype anybody,
No.
but obviously that is a consideration. That is a factor.
But let's put it this way. If he hadn't done that, he would not have been elected.
Who knows? I don't
mean,
know what
he won
position-
handily, but I'll bet you that he wouldn't have been.
Right,
they would
but
have just-
he's touted by the media as a progressive, a liberal.
Yes, I know.
Okay?
He's got a lot of good socialist leaning.
He does. He does.
That's what we want in this
Well,
country.
okay. So anyway, the ad ran, and we'll see what the fallout is. But the BDS movement is making strides. It's moving forward, picking up more and more support, so that Israeli businesses there are very concerned that even the EU, the Europeans, say that they will refuse to accept products that are manufactured in or grown foodstuffs in these illegal settlements.
Good for them.
So this is happening right now.
That's good.
All right, we're going to show now, in conjunction with the Super Bowl, there was a protest mounted. It's been going on for some years on the part of a group of Americans. Let's call them the first Americans, okay, who have been marginalized, who have been kind of swept away, put on land that,
Literally swept away.
yeah, put on land that white Americans,
Didn't
settlers,
want. Didn't want.
colonists
Yeah.
didn't want. And
Desert.
speaking of the Trail of Tears, right?
Yeah.
moving Native Americans from Georgia and Alabama to what was conceived to be or perceived to be a desert like Oklahoma.
Yeah, it's land that nobody wanted.
Until oil was discovered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
But so this video is, I think, a very powerful one, and it speaks to the necessity, the need for all Americans to recognize what was done to these Native people, and it pertains specifically to a football team,
Washington Redskins.
Of
course, what it's saying is that we have to study our own history, the history of the United States, which we haven't been doing. If anybody just in high school textbook, you're not going to get it there unless you're a professor or you're a history teacher.
But you would recommend which book? By Howard
Zinn's.
Howard Zinn's book.
Yeah.
A People's
History of the
United States again. Or there's another great book I think I used when I was teaching at Central called by D. Brown.
Oh, yeah.
Bury My Heart
at Wounded Knee. And there's another one by D. Brown that's very good. Creek. I can't remember the name. Creek Indian Blood or something like that. It's about a woman's family that were kicked out of Georgia and they moved over there.
Vine Deloria, I think it was, also wrote a book back then called Custer Died for Your Sins. So anyway, all right, so let's see the short video.
And his own sins.
Right.
Proud. Forgotten. Indian. Navajo. Blackfoot. Inuit and Sioux, survivor, spiritualist, patriot, Sitting Bull, Hiawatha, and Jim Thorpe, mother, father, son, daughter, chief, Apache, Pueblo, Choctaw, Chippewa, and Crow, underserved, struggling, resilient. Squanto, Red Cloud, Tecumseh, and Crazy Horse, rancher, teacher, doctor, soldier, Seminole, Seneca, Mohawk, and Creek, Mills, Will Rogers, Geronimo, unyielding, strong, indomitable. Native Americans call themselves many things. The one thing they don't.
Well, wouldn't that be appropriate after the Super Bowl to write a letter or email Pete Rozelle, Commissioner?
Yeah, it'd be great to have that right on, that particular
guy who makes $30 million a year in a non-profit status. Also the owner of the Washington football team, I won't say.
Oh, yeah, right.
Of course, the baseball, we have the Cleveland team. We have the, was it Kansas City Chiefs, right?
Chiefs, yeah.
Blackhawks.
I've told you that when I was in the Army, we called the Indians. I met 3 Indians in just my platoon.
Right.
And we called them all Chief.
Yeah.
I didn't realize at the time that, that's not
How did they respond to that?
They didn't say anything.
Yeah.
I mean, they never put up any problem. There was never any problem with the Indians or anything like that. But 2 were killed and 1 was seriously shot up. So.
Well, I
want to say this too. And both of them, the 2 that died were on the second tour. They had done another tour in Vietnam, a previous one, and went back to the reservation. No jobs, so they had no place to go except back in the Army.
Remember Ira Hayes?
Yeah, same difference. Yeah,
Ira Hayes and
died
raising
in a puddle of water.
Yeah, drowned.
Yeah.
The big hero of the raising of the flag on Iwo Jima, of course, Rennie Gagnon, who also later became an alcoholic.
What did he say about war?
do not glorify
There's
war.
no glory
There is
in
no
it.
glory in it.
Right.
And by the way, there's a movie out called Nebraska. Bruce Stern plays this elderly.
Oh, yes, I haven't seen it.
And part of his problem, he also is after the war in Korea. Okay, he becomes an even bigger drinker than he was before, and part of that may be to the stress that
PTSD.
PTSD. And I was trying to think. There was another allusion to, J.D. Salinger, Catcher in the Rye.
Yeah.
Was a World War II vet.
Yes.
Who was in the Battle of the Bulge and saw a lot of his friends killed as well. They think that some of his antisocial
He was a
recluse was part due
was-
to his
yeah.
trauma.
I read something that sounded
yeah.
familiar to me.
Yeah. So anyway, well, and speaking of trauma, here we are today, February 4th, and Senator Menendez from New Jersey is holding another hearing about ratcheting up again the sanctions against Iran over their alleged nuclear,
He must get all his money from AIPAC.
well, I think he gets a lot. But here we encourage people to state unequivocally that we, the people, desire diplomacy and not war against another country in the Middle East called Iran. So contact Senator Shaheen. She hasn't signed on as a co-sponsor yet. Great. Senator Ayotte has
She's all right.
early on with Menendez and Kirk and Schumer and 59, is it?
All the AIPAC people.
Senators.
Most of the Congress
So-
and the Senate.
So anyway, now
Do we know anybody who doesn't take money from AIPAC? I don't think
I
so.
don't, but we can check. Now we have this article, Richard, that you brought in. I ran off about Israel and the secret arsenal, and you want to just comment on that?
Well, it's so amazing to me that Israel jumps all over Iran and wants to go to war with Iran because they have what is actually not an illegal nuclear weapons system, not weapons, but nuclear system. At least as far as we know,
Right.
the uranium is only about 20%. I think it's got to be 90. I think
Yeah,
to be
something like that.
be a weapon. I don't understand it, but we would know nothing about the fact that Israel, the country, actually set off a nuclear weapon without telling anybody
Right.
except probably South Africa.
South Africa.
With
Right.
their big
Right.
ally. They helped the apartheid
Yep.
too.
Yep.
And this is amazing. And the only reason why they were caught was because they did it during a storm, which would prohibit anybody from actually being able to view it.
Mm-hmm.
But a clearing occurred during the storm, very unusual for this particular atmospheric circumstance to take place. And so consequently, an astrophysicist, American, was looking however they look, from wherever they look, I don't know, and he saw a double flash, which is a nuclear, that's what it is. And then the clouds came in, and it was like he couldn't believe it. But he said, must be South Africa, because it was off the coast of South Africa. And this is back in the 60s. And but he kept studying it for like 5 or 6 years, and they realized, no, that wasn't South Africa. They couldn't do that.
Yeah.
But Israel could.
Right.
Because we've known about Israel not only spying, but bribing different countries, one of them being Norway, and for their nuclear fission, their expertise, these different, including the United States.
And the French were
the
ones
French are the
who
big ones. The French are the most
gave the support.
culpable, I would call
They
it.
had 2,500 French
Yeah.
people at Dimona, which is the
in the
Negev,
Negev Desert.
and
And they've built probably a 10-story building underground there, which is a nuclear power plant. And it makes, I think, nuclear grade, weapons grade uranium. I don't know.
that's amazing.
But and this has been known to the United States government, although we've signed the nuclear non-proliferation treaty,
Right.
and yet we're letting Israel do all this and not saying anything about it. And of course, who knows about this? Well, the entire Middle East knows. They know that they've got weapons. They think they have around 80 nuclear
Or
weapons.
more.
A lot more than that.
Yeah.
So I mean, and people here like AIPAC are screaming, "What is Iran doing? This is ridiculous," and they have nuclear weapons all along, and we know it.
Of course, it's
ridiculous.
a double standard, obviously. But
it's
you're right.
Been
the Egyptians, I think, the Jordanians, I believe, but the countries in that area would love to see Israel open up its facilities and sign the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Pact.
Right.
But they won't do it. And the United States government, lets them get away with it.
Yeah.
So
it's very depressing again. Another
hypocrisy.
depressing issue.
Hypocrisy. Well, okay, so then we can. Well, we're not gonna. We'll keep thinking about this, obviously, and we hope that Menendez and Kirk and Schumer and Ayotte do not get their way.
I don't understand why Menendez is doing this, except that they must be getting pushed by AIPAC, because the deal that we supposedly have with the Iranians is an excellent deal. In fact, they're giving really more than we're giving.
Yeah.
That they're allowing inspectors to come in and see what they're doing. Mm-hmm. They're getting rid of their uranium. I don't know who's taking it. It might be France, but somebody's taking it.
Yeah.
And they're doing everything that we'd want them to do. Of course, Israel's mad because now they can't bomb them. They want to just bomb them.
Exactly.
That's what they want to do.
Exactly.
They're warmongers, just like our government is.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's just amazing.
We're on the wrong side all the time.
Well, and some people, say we don't focus enough on domestic stuff. Of course, we just had a hearing this morning in Concord about the ASVAB test and how parents ought to be notified if their children are taking this test under the age of 18, because if option 8 is not selected by the school, as I understand it, then all the results are sent to the military recruiters, which obtain their name, address, phone number, social security number, ethnicity, race, future goals, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
So all we're saying is for this bill to pass so that option 8 becomes required, but the parent, if the student who is 16 or 17 wants the information to go to the recruiters,
they can have it.
Then the parent may approve of that.
But the poor parents are probably working 3 or 4 jobs, and then they don't have time for anything.
Right.
What the recruiter will do is he knows that they're poverty-stricken, a lot of these people.
Yeah.
That's the poverty draft. He'll call up and say, hey, he says, you need $15,000 bonus right now for signing up. And that's it, and you're gone.
Exactly. Well, here's another domestic activity, the Farm Bill. Okay, so what do you know about this new Farm Bill that was passed?
Well, it takes away not all, but too many of the food stamps for these people, and they're something like 75% of everybody on food stamps is either disabled, elderly, or children. Well, those are 3 people that we should be helping. I mean, 3 categories of our civilization that we should be helping and not hurting, but we're hurting them.
Exactly. And Representative Porter in Custer
voted for it.
And it's a cut of $8 billion. But no mention was made of the $83 billion a year that is taxpayer money that subsidizes, for example, the banking industry.
The banksters.
Okay. Yeah.
Banksters.
So there's something wrong with that.
Yeah, we're just pouring billions of dollars into the banks.
Well, the
banks are all crooked,
and the military.
And they're taking all that money and giving it away in bonuses.
No, that's right.
A lot of it, anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
And the Justice Department it doesn't exist. They're not doing anything to anybody.
Exactly.
Except for the poor guys. They throw them away forever. Well, what was I saying? That the one reason why the employment rate is low, is going down.
Yeah.
It's a good statistic that I never thought of, but it's because we have over 1 million people in jail in the United States of America. These people don't count on the unemployment list, but they're unemployed.
All right.
But over 1 million people, more people in jail than virtually everyone else in the world.
And mostly minority.
I say all, but Latino and blacks and poor whites.
Poor whites.
They're all poor.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
It's an industry. You know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's a private industry.
Yeah, private
for profit. And they've already convicted at least one judge in Pennsylvania of putting people in jail that really don't belong there. And the reason is because he got a kickback for everybody he put in jail from these companies.
Exactly.
I mean, we didn't make that up.
Uh,
It's ridiculous.
well, we're coming to the end. I wanted to mention again Pete
I gotta
Seeger.
go. Yeah.
Pete Seeger died.
Yeah, that's too bad. 93 though, that's not
yeah,
good life.
Yeah.
I'll take 93.
And or 94.
94.
I think it was.
Yeah.
And remember the song "Waist Deep in the Big Muddy"?
Yeah, I've been in it.
Yeah, that's true. But he actually tried to sing the song on the Smothers Brothers show.
Yes, and they wouldn't let him.
They wouldn't let him. And then finally, enough pressure, about a year later or so, he was able to sing it. It has no allusion, the name, Vietnam, or LBJ.
Right.
But everybody knew
Yeah,
it was directed
sure.
towards LBJ
Yeah.
and the American war in Vietnam.
And I'd like to add, as my memory tells me that we were chest deep in the big muddy many times.
Well, it starts off because I had the lyrics. It's with the knees and the,
Yeah.
and it was written back in the 40s. But Pete sang it, and it made its point, and it didn't stop the war, but it made people think more deeply about the war. And then, of course, Nixon got elected, and the rest is
We
history.
wanted that when overseas, the guys with me, we were infantrymen, so
Yeah.
we were out there doing all the bad stuff. We wanted that war to end that day.
that day.
Yeah. And I got home, it was still going on 4 years later.
Yeah.
They were still sending guys
Remember
over
that
there to
helmet I
get
told
shot.
you, Gary Rafferty? He had a helmet at the beginning. It said "Bomb Hanoi." Then 2 months later, it said "Bomb New York City." And then 3 months later, it said "Bomb Washington D.C."
Yeah.
And he was an American soldier.
Yeah.
Well, we got 30 seconds, so we don't know what's the future will be, but we hopefully will be back.
Call your senator and tell her
Yeah.
not to vote for
The
what
nuclear-free
they're going
Iran
to vote
Act.
for.
All right. So, as
AJ
A.J.
has-
Musty once said,
There is
no
no
way
way
to
to peace. Peace is the way.
Thanks for
Bye.
watching.
War is not the answer, never was, never will. We will never live in peace unless and until we learn to love each other, not bomb, maim, and kill. 'Cause war is not the answer, never was and never will.